Hey friends, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I am sharing with you the books I read in in March and April 2026. I skipped March's recap because I was out of the country and I didn't come back until about early April. So I thought I would combine the two. And right now, when I'm filming, it is the end of April. We have a few days left. So I figured I would just do the recap now. And then if I finish another book in April, I'll just include that in next month's wrap up. So I want to try to keep these every month. I hope you enjoy them. I love reading and I want to share the books I'm reading with you, especially since I'm not really one of the readers who is always reading a new release. I really stick to my comfy, cozy murder mysteries and some romance here and there, and things like that. So, anyway, if that is something that interests you, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and stick around. And let's dive in. Okay, the first book I finished in March is my first that I can recall Nicholas Sparks book. This is True Believer. And it says, as a science journalist with a regular column in Scientific American, Jeremy specializes in debunking the supernatural. A born skeptic, he travels to a small town of Boone Creek, North Carolina, determined to find the real cause behind the ghostly apparitions that appear in the town cemetery. What he doesn't plan on, however, is meeting and falling hopelessly in love with Lexi, granddaughter of the town psychic. Now, if the young lovers are to have any kind of future at all, Jeremy must make a difficult choice: return to the life he knows or do something he could never do before, take a giant leap of faith. This was fine. Actually, no, it wasn't. I gave it 2.5 stars. Whoops. Let me see what I said about it. I think it was a little bit insta-livy. I'm looking at my laptop. So, this is what I said. I believe this is a true product of its time, 2005. In modern times, this story was so insta-lovey, cheesy, it was too much. The relationship didn't have much depth. The romance scene was very basic. Again, a product of its time, I'm assuming. It's a good story to pass the time. I really didn't care for any of the characters, though, except Doris. Doris is great. We love her. Everyone else was meh. I like the small town vibes, the scenery, the closeness, and everyday life of a small town. I liked that Lexi built the library up to what it is in the story. Herbs was great. A local, oh, I was like, what? Uh, Herbs was great. A local hangout spot with delicious food. I wouldn't herbs. I said herbs. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this, honestly. It wasn't very interesting and moved way too fast. So again, if you're into that kind of thing, this might be for you. I think it's just a product of its time. It wasn't my favorite. I do like the cover though. Like the cover is so peaceful. Um, but they do end up at this lighthouse for dramatic effect. So I don't know. It was meh. Not a fan. I think Nicholas Sparks just isn't for me. Okay, the next one I read, that is, I'll put the cover on the screen here. The Ghosts Who Dream Hopped. Again, this is part of the Haunting Danielle series that you've seen in past videos if you watch my recaps there. I am on the 18th one. So I finished the 18th. I haven't started the 19th one yet. I really haven't been in an audiobook mood, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I gave this one 3 stars. I said this was fine. So much of the story was about those damn boxes. It got very repetitive. I'm glad there was some resolution to something big from the last few books. I didn't really care for the story much from the runaround from the police and a few side stories going all at once. Yeah, I can't really go into anything without giving spoilers, but sometimes this happens with series where like I just am in it for the character development and to see how things progress in like relationships or the side characters or things like that, and not really caring about what the point of the story is, whether it be like a murder or like some drama. I'm like, I just want to know about the characters. That's all I care about. So that one was fine. The next book I finished in March for St. Patty's Day. This was Murder at the Blarney Bash, and this was my first one, my first book by Darci Hannah. And this, sorry, my ring light. This is literally my dream dog, Newfoundland. I want one so bad. But this was really fun. I gave it 3.75 stars. I do have some spoilers that I won't read in my review, but this is the first one I read in the series for St. Patrick's Day themed book. I enjoyed it overall, and I would like to continue with the series. That being said, I thought the premise around why the murders happened was a bit uninteresting. I also felt that it dragged on a bit. The pace could have been quicker. I do enjoy the characters. They are complex, and some are meant to be unlikable. I love Wellington and Bailey. Those are the dogs. Uncle Finn is great, a stubborn old Irishman who cannot be swayed when it comes to his belief in leprechauns. And then I do have a spoiler that I won't read, but I thought it was fun. Yeah, the way, like, why the murders were happening, I was like, this doesn't tie into anything. It's like kind of random, but I would definitely read more of the series. I enjoyed it very much, and it was perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Okay, and then this is a book I read on my trip to New Zealand. This is a Shady Hollow mystery by Juneau Black, Twilight Falls. I love this series so, so much, and the covers are so precious. Absolutely love. Oh, I didn't even read the synopsis of this, but it's fine. It's about leprechauns. It's spring in Shady Hollow, and romance is in the air. Even reporter Vera Vixen is caught up in the season as her relationship with new police chief Orville Braun blossoms. But true love is not always smooth sailing, as two of the Hollow's young residents soon discover. Jonah Atwater and Stasia von Beaverpelt find themselves battling their families to be together, and when Jonah's father Shelby goes over the top of Twilight Falls, all signs point to Stassi being the murderer. So this was so fun. I give it 5 stars. I absolutely love this series. It is so cozy. It is so fun. I'm very invested in the characters. I didn't even write a review for it. I loved it that much. Actually, I think I was going to go back and write a review, and I did not. That's fine. So that was Twilight Falls. I read that one on my trip, and I finished it. And then now, so that I finished that in early April. So we were still on our trip. And then I started the next adaptation I can't talk. I started the next book in the Franny Fisher murder mystery series, which I'm currently reading all of them. I am buying them pre-loved, and I love watching the show and comparing the books versus like how TV adapted the story. So this is the 6th one in the series. Franny Fisher is bored. Life has become too easy, too perfect. Her household is ordered. Her love life is pleasant. The weather is fine. And then a man from her past arrives at her door. Alan Lee and his friends want her to investigate strange happenings at Farrell's Circus, where animals have been poisoned and ropes sabotaged. Mr. Christopher has been found with his throat cut in Mrs. Witherspoon's irreproachable boarding house, and Miss Parks, an ex-performer, is charged with his murder. This was fun. And I was especially excited to finish this book because I have so much circus journal supplies from previous subscription journal boxes. So I was like, I have the perfect things for this. So I was so excited to read it. Anyway, I gave it 5 stars. This was a fun journey, a bit more dark than the TV episode. This is true. I will say for most of these books compared to the TV episodes, they are very dark. They contain some like real life dark situations that are just absolutely tragic. That TV, it's probably too dark for TV or offensive or whatever. I love seeing Franny or Fern join the circus and immerse herself in a lifestyle all too unfamiliar to her as an adult, yet sparks memories and feelings from her childhood. I love this series. It's so good. So I really enjoyed this one. 5 stars. The last book I finished for April is another one. This is the 7th book in the series, Ruddy, Gore. This one took place at a theater. I actually gave this one 4.75 stars. I wasn't that big of a fan. I think more so of the characters in the theater. So it says, running late to a gala performance of Gilbert and Sullivan's Ruddy Gore, Franny Fisher meets Franny Fisher meets some thugs in a dark alley and handles them convincingly before they can ruin her silver dress. Franny then finds that she has rescued the handsome Lin Chung and his grandmother and is briefly mistaken for a deity. Denying divinity but accepting cognac, she later continues safely to the theater, but the performance is interrupted by a bizarre death on stage. It was good. I liked it. In my review. I was going to go back and write something. I did not like the characters, but again, like, theater is not my jam. So I think if you like theater, if you like that type of environment and those types of people, I think you'll like it. I think the characters were just not likable for me in that one, but it was fine. I mean, it was still a journey. It was still great. So the book I'm reading now, with my handmade bookmark in it that is jingling, is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This has been on my list for a while. I am currently 100 pages in exactly. And I will say her writing, I really enjoy her writing. She knows how to keep the pages turning. And I mean, the first 2 chapters, I was like, holy cow, this is wild. This is insane. Like, what? So she already had the grasp. She had my attention in the first 2 chapters. And I was like, I have to find out what happens. I'll read the synopsis a little bit. This came out in 2022. After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna returns to the town where it all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter. But the bridges Kenna burned are proving impossible to rebuild. Everyone in her daughter's life is determined to shut Kenna out, no matter how hard she works to prove herself. The only person who hasn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger, a local bar owner and one of the few remaining links to Kenna's daughter. But if anyone were to discover how Ledger is slowly becoming an important part of her life, both would risk losing trust of everyone important to them. So, craziness, absolute craziness. It's good. It is very good. So that book will probably be in May's wrap up. I, again, am 100 pages in. I could finish it in the next few days. Who knows? But I wanted to include it in this video because I'm currently reading it. I am not listening to any audiobooks at the moment. However, I do have the next book for the Haunting Danielle series checked out. It is kind of a bummer because the next one is like Christmassy. Yeah, the Ghost of Christmas Secrets. I'm like, I want to read this at Christmas, but we're not even close to Christmas. So I'm going to have to read it now if I want to continue onward. There are 37 books in this series. So I have quite a ways to go. And there are really easy listens on audiobook. I listen at like maybe 1.5 speed ish. I tried to like slow down. It used to be like two times speed, and I'm like, this is giving me a headache. So I tried to slow down with that. So my reading has slowed just a little bit, but I'm more enjoying what I'm reading. And then I get really excited to fill out my reading journal. I have a reading journal now where every book I finish, I make an entire spread for it, and I write my little review on how I liked it and what it's about and any quotes I might have liked, my stickers and all of my paper crafts. I get really creative with it. So I've been enjoying that process, and that kind of motivates me to read because then I can journal about it, and it's great. So anyway, that is all of the books I read in March and April. and I'm excited to see what comes for May. Again, I'm being very slow. I'm also like a seasonal reader, so I love if a book takes place in summer, I want to read about that, and then fall, I want to read about that. So I reorganized my bookshelf to have my little books in some kind of order. And maybe I could do a quick, like, what I plan to read in summer video or something. But so far, I have enjoyed a lot of, I've enjoyed a lot of these. So, anyway, if you like this video, give a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not already. I would love to have you. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.